What's going on? This Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. I wanted to talk about last night. Big time night of boxing. And unfortunately, when I said that T.O. would Spark Kambosos, I was wrong. I've been so wrong.
My word, and I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it get down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
Do that job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the God, so.
I'll take them how they come and make them look ordinary.
When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Nah, but hey, T.O. lost, man. T.O. lost. Heavy was the head. In hindsight, you would say, well, all of the things that he was going through and that the pushback really did affect him. Everybody was saying that he was distracted going in. I'm like, well, as of late, that's been T.O. just, running around saying whatever he's saying in his videos. I know family life was a factor, and it was several things I saw. I actually been scoring these fights here lately, and I've been kind of like scoring them along with the judges and seeing it how they've been seeing it. And so I'm actually getting the hang of how they actually judging these fights. And only thing I say that the judges got wrong, this should have been a unanimous decision. I had it 114 to 112. T.O. didn't do anything in the championship rounds. Coming out, first he came out, y'all must have forgot. And I said, okay, well, he giving Roy Jones some shine, but then also, that's when you come out with that song, you have to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a statement. So, it got hairy in the first round, and Kambosos dropped T.O. in the first round. I thought the second round could have been a swing. The third round was T.O.'s. The fourth round was Kambosos. He got caught at the end. T.O. got caught at the end. The fifth round, T.O. The sixth round, he got caught by that right hand, and by that time, the right hand had found a home. It was no way T.O. was getting tired. By the sixth round, T.O. was tired. Like, he was exhausted. When he came out in the beginning of the fight, he came out way too aggressive, swinging for the fences. I'm like, well, you must be conditioned for that. It wasn't the right game plan. His father was in there, telling him to basically, distance was his enemy. In the seventh round, he was still getting caught. He was still getting caught by that right hand. he was getting caught by that right hand, and you know, it was a counter that it was almost instantly. It was like instantly, and I think that he had tasted Kambosos' power, and I don't think his legs was up under him, and he was not accurate as he needed to be on his punches. But as soon as he would throw a punch, it was automatic. Kambosos was catching him with that right hand. And in the 8th round, you started seeing Kambosos implement that uppercut. In the 9th round, he staggered Kambosos, and he dropped Kambosos in the 10th. In the 11th round, Kambosos came right back, caught Teo, and then Teo didn't do anything. He didn't attack, he just posed. And in the 12th round, Kambosos did more than enough to win that fight. And for me, I'm still a Teo fan. You know, I'm one of those guys. If you're one of my guys, you're one of my guys. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of my guys, you're one of my guys. I'm still a Teo fan. And I just think that he has to go, he has to reinvent himself now. You know, with how he's been, you know, approaching everything and the things that him and his father say and has been saying. They got, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, so they're going to have to reinvent themselves. I don't think his career is over because of the mindset he has. And he's going to want to get in there and prove him. He's just going to be at the mercy of everybody, you know, basically shitting on him. I mean, he's gonna have to have some thick skin. You know, it's like I'll use myself. Like when I was in the military, you know, 16 years ago, and I got that DUI and I lost my rank. You know, I had soldiers that was up under me that worked for me that used to taunt and do all kind of, you know, shit to me and talk shit and, you know, poke and prod, because it was like, you know, when you have a downfall, when people see your downfall and they there to witness it, some of them will rub it in your face. They will rub it in your face. And if they can trigger you enough to where you lose focus, you'll get back off the path. But what I can say is that, you know, something my mom told me. She said, Michael, and I told her a while after it happened because I was embarrassed and ashamed to actually tell her. But she told me, she said, you know what, Mike? You're a man of character. You know, and that's hard to find, and you're built for it. You know, don't let these people rent space in your head, and, you know, you can get back. And I did. I soldiered on. I wound up going back to the board, and, you know, I wound up getting out of the Army prematurely a little bit. Not from that, though, but, I mean, you can come back. So my message to Teo is that you can rebuild yourself. You got to get thick skin. You got to put the earmuffs on. You cannot be looking at the media, you know, people like myself. You can't be looking at YouTubers. You can't be looking at the news. You got to go back and rewatch that fight. You got to work on your weaknesses. You got to increase your strengths. And this next go around, you got to be focused, you know. So, it's going to be kind of hard, but it's not going to be impossible. And I'm still going to be checking for Teo. I think it takes him, you know, it takes him out of the running from a lot of things right now. I don't know how ESPN's going to handle it. I don't know what Bob's reaction going to handle it. I mean, they've actually let go fighters after losing once, you know. So I think this will serve as a learning lesson, you know. And I salute Kambosos for what he was able to do. You know, I was saying that he was on his Bane versus Batman shit before. It's like, you learned how to adapt to the dark. I was born in it. And I said he was playing in that light versus dark stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was painting that picture. He did a good job. And he stayed poised, and you could see his confidence, and you could see him taunting Teo, and he was in Teo's head, and it was like, Teo didn't have any answers. You know, I mean, if you want to say exposed, you can, but it's not like it's a skill set that's not there. it's not because he when he beat Loma, it had to be, he was doing things. He made some adjustments and he came on in the final round. I thought his saving grace would have been to get the job done. People would say, "Oh yeah, man, you took more punishment, but you could have just." But it's like he didn't have what he needed in the gas tank to step on it. He didn't figure out what Kambosos was doing to him and how to negate that. He just couldn't figure it out. His father really didn't tell him any answers. He told him, like distance, by distance, you need to be in a certain range. He did tell him he needed to be in a certain range. And, he really, I think he tried to calm him down because he kept telling him to get rid of it. But I don't know, man. The corner was all over the place. I thought they had a game plan. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't really like talking on people's personal lives and all that, but I can say Kambosos earned it. The only thing I disagree is that Kambosos should have got it unanimous. It wasn't no split. It wasn't no question. That was just some drama at the end. Him refusing to admit that he lost. I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't play that sore losing shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta take your L like a man, and life goes on. So now you gotta go get to the back of the line like everybody else, and get back to doing what Loma's doing. And Loma actually got a fight with Comey, and he actually fought Nakatani. And so you got some heavy lifting to do. Some fights to get into. Not sure about the weight class and everything. I would say get some rest, spend some time with your family, reshoot your azimuth, and get back to putting in work. I don't think that you're going to quit. I don't think that you're the quitting type. I just think that this needs to be a learning experience, and just like some of these other fighters like Gary Russell and Mr. Gary Russell Jr. and Regis Prograis, Keith Thurman, you kind of look at what's going on with them now, having one loss and being on that high level of fighter, like that high caliber of fighter, and you can learn some things from them. And you can see, okay, what was working, how active they are, and what they do to get back on top, and and how they actually carry themselves. Some good, some bad. When you look at them three, some of the things you can look at all three of them and say some good, some bad. I would probably look at Mr. Gary Russell Jr. And I would say, all right, well, he was able to get, he was able to go ahead and reign again and get a belt and get the longest reigning, and just be a little more active. Just get back there and saddle up. Now, moving on. Outside of that, I talked about Raymond Ford, Young Savage. He actually fought on the DAZN undercard. He got a stoppage. And pretty exciting fight. You can see that his speed and his preciseness. He's very offensively. He's very good. He's very, very good. Defensively, he does have good head movement. He is very fast. What I can say is my concern with him was getting countered. He showed that he can actually get countered. But easy fight. 8 round stoppage. Raymond Ford against Felix Caraballo. And let's see. I watched Craig Lewis and the Big Bang Gang. You know what I'm saying? Craig Lewis got a snot bottom right. Salute to the brother on short notice, man. But man, you don't play boxing, man. And they was calling this man a journeyman out there. I seen the interview on TBV the other day with Craig Lewis on there, so I wanted to see what he was able to do. But it was clear that he wasn't in shape. He had some good movement, but it was clear he wasn't in shape. He got caught. Now, right before he got you know what I'm saying, whack. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my lady, I said, get out of there. Pivot out. Something. Wow. I said, I told you. He stayed up there. I mean, I saw a lot of that being up on the rope stuff this week. But moving on to Gary Antonio. Gary Antonio Russell actually fought, you know, and it kind of collided right where the end, toward the end, like the 7th round. That's when the T.O. fight came on. So I was watching that on the Zone, and I had that up on the TV, and on my computer I had the Showtime, and I was watching Gary Antonio, you know, do his thing, and he actually won as well. And he got the decision on that. And I saw some good things from him. You know, I didn't know if his mobility was limited or not. I saw the knee brace. That's always, you know, some people have it just for, you know, they might have tweaked it or just for support or whatever. But that was a question mark in my mind as to, you know, what happened or what's going on. You know, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? All the Gary Russell clan, those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? They from out this way. And, Southpaw, just like Tank, Southpaw, you know, from out this way up in Baltimore. You know, they my guys, you know what I'm saying? I stick with my guys. I like who I like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a turncoat, but I am also a realist. And so out of what I called this weekend, I said that T.O. was Spark Kambosos. I was wrong. I said that I was looking for Raymond Ford to do his thing. I was looking for Mr. Gary Antonio Russell to do his thing. So 2 out of 3 are not bad. Shooting on 66%. You know what I'm saying? But I just love this boxing stuff. You know what I'm saying? I love talking about boxing and, you know, all aspects of boxing. Getting in line with some people on some other channels that's actually, you know, similar to how I do things, where they only speak the truth and they keep it a buck regardless. You know what I'm saying? There's respect. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm looking forward to seeing what this T.O. loss is going to do for the sport. What direction is everybody going to go down there? I mean, what is Tank going to say? You know what I'm saying? What is Devin going to say? You know, they both fight next weekend, and we shall see. So I got videos coming out about Tank, you know, in the pit bull, Eastside Cruz, and I got videos coming out about Devin and JoJo, you know, as we, you know, look forward to these fights next weekend. But it looked like the landscape just kind of changed. It just changed, you know what I'm saying? But that's all I had this morning. I hope we had a good night of boxing. I hope everybody, you know, had a good time and enjoyed all the fights. Bodywork.
All right, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me. My word, and I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
You know, jump outside the ring in the fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so